Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? Did you know that I was just live on my PlayStation about half an hour ago? Because it's like they didn't promote that video at all. I don't know what's going on. YouTube just kind of is not promoting me. I'm not exactly sure. YouTube's so weird. They're like, hey, all you have to do is just watch the viewer retention rate and, just try to do those things where you had viewer retention. But if you don't give me any viewers at all, sheesh. All right. Yo, what's up? What's up? I'm starting to think that nobody has their notifications on, right? So I can have subscribers, but if there are no, if people don't have their notifications on, well then that just kind of doesn't matter. They're never gonna see a live video. See, this is why it's like, as much as I want to do a live video, no one's watching. So maybe I just got to do these like recorded videos. A couple weeks ago, I had a live stream that had 8,000 views. I don't understand how I got, it just doesn't make any sense. But I'm going to the beach later. So that's what I'm doing later. I wonder if it was because I shared the video. Maybe I'll share it real quick. All right. So now I've shared it. Shared the video. We'll just wait a second, see if anybody wants to watch. Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? No comments today? No comments? What's up? What's up? Thomas, hey, what's up, Thomas? What's up, Thomas? What's up? What's up? How's it going? What's up, Thomas? What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm at work right now. The sky? That's right. That's right. We're hanging out. We're hanging out at work today. What are you doing? We're hanging out at work right now. Watching the cars go by. There's a car. There's a truck. Taking it easy. That's good. Yeah, I'm gonna be going to the beach after work with my sign. I had to finish the sign. I left work early yesterday, hoping to take the sign to the beach, but the sign wasn't finished, and you know, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist with the sign, so I spent some time finishing the sign, and then it was basically too late to go to the beach, so I went downtown because everybody goes to the downtown after the beach. So I figured if I missed the sunshine at the beach, you know, basically up until about 5 p.m. So if you go to the beach up until about 5 p.m., because that's where, you know, people have on their swimsuits and, you know, so now when it gets like a little darker, like around sunset, people go from the beach to downtown to all the restaurants and stuff. So those are the two hot locations. So if it's like midday, you want to go to the beach, but if it's like early evening, then you want to go downtown. And so I took the sign. What's up? The sign said Indian stink. The sign said Indian stink, and as soon as I got downtown, there were some Indians there, and they immediately got really upset. It was really funny. It was exactly what I wanted. One guy said, "I stink," and that's so funny. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm not mad, but That's what I'm saying. No one can take a fucking joke. And if they're winning, if they're winning so much, why are they so sensitive, right? If they're winning, right? You go up to any of these other races, and you ask them, "Hey, is your race doing really well right now?" They would be like, "Yeah, bro, we're winning." And then I'd be like, "Well, why do you stink?" And then they would see, if they weren't sensitive, they would just laugh that off. They would be like, "Ha ha." But they're sensitive. You see this like really like wealthy Indian here in America, probably illegally, and then you tell him he stinks, and he says no, and gets really mad. Hey, listen, don't get mad at me. Just go back to your country where no one says you stink. No, they're actually not winning. They're not winning because they stink. Yeah, so strictly because of how bad they stink, they're not winning. Yeah, but because they stink, there's just a mockery and just a endless making fun of them. I personally believe that the only reason they're overpopulating is because they abuse women, 100%. If we stopped Indians abusing women, the Indians wouldn't be allowed to procreate as often. I can't use the R word here on YouTube, sadly, but there's a fruit called grapes, and that's exactly what the Indians do. They love this fruit called grapes. So I personally think that that's how they're overpopulating. I mean, Chinese people don't even eat grapes that much. Let's see, Eternal Extrapolation says, what does it benefit an Indian to gain American citizenship if he loses his malodorousness? Bro, what is that word? No one uses that word in casual conversation. But anyway, I'll try to answer your question anyway. What does it benefit an Indian to gain American citizenship? ? Or it means, if he loses his bad odor. Hold on, I want to make this into a joke now. So, what does it benefit an Indian to gain American citizenship if he loses his bad odor? Either my brain's not working, or that's just such a weird question that my brain isn't processing it very easily. What does it benefit him? Indians treated me better than blacks ever did? Nah, you're just taking the short end of the stick, man. You're just like, I'll just take the lesser of two evils. You need to just have balls to say that you don't like any of them, right? You can't say, this one's just not as bad. That's the problem. You got all these cucks, all these simps that are like, some of them aren't that bad. No. But let me try to answer your question. So an Indian doesn't need American citizenship. All right? If you want to come here and work, you're not getting citizenship. If I was in charge, you're not getting citizenship. You can come here and work, you're not getting citizenship, and you're also getting reduced pay, right? Because you're not a citizen. You're getting basically slave pay. So, hey, if you want to come here and get some slave pay, you go right on ahead. But I mean, I still don't even want that, because I don't want you here. I don't need you here. I don't like looking at you. I don't like the way you smell. I think you should go back to your home country. I think God put you in your home birth country for a reason. You're basically saying that you hate God. You know, I'm saying it pretty extreme, but I'm going to start extreme and then work my way back. So I'm going to go ahead and say that if you left your home birth country, the country you're born in, right? Now we'll get to the people who are non-white and are claiming that they're born in America. We're going to get to those people in just a second. I'll get to them in just a second. But right now, we're going to deal with the traitors first. The traitors. So the people that I consider traitors are the people that leave where they're birthed from. Okay? So if you leave where you're birthed from, you're a traitor. Okay? Now, there's an extra part of that. If any of your ancestors left where they're birthed from, they're also traitors. Now, whoa. Now see, my ancestors left Europe, right? So they were traitors to that European government system, whatever the hell was going on. But see, there's a kind of traitor where you're like, hey, I don't want to participate in this government anymore. I'm going to be a traitor, similar to where we're at now. So a lot of you would say that if I were to ask you to your fucking face, hey, do you like our government right now? 9 out of 10 of you to my face, you say, no, they're crazy. I don't like anything they're doing. Right? But when I ask you all online, you're like, oh, whoa, I don't want to come across as some traitor to this government. You know, maybe it's repairable. So see, there's a sense of, do you want to repair the government that we have now? Do you want to keep the flag? Do you want to keep the Constitution? Do you like all the laws? And do you think maybe you want to slowly change it if you could? Or do you think it's so bad as an entirety, just so bad as an entirety, that it needs to just be axed, right? Just be completely restarted. It would actually be intellectually better and faster to start over rather than to try to replace one by one. Now you'll say, well, what would really be the difference if we were to just replace it one by one or to just start all over? Well, replacing it one by one right now, we have to fight against all the people one by one each time. And we have to fight them each time, where we could fight them one time and get it all, right? See, right now we're fighting them every time we need one law changed. We could fight them for the entire package. See, that's the issue I keep promoting, is that there's a fight for like rights every couple decades. And it's just like, why don't we just fight for a total package? And people are too intimidated. I know. They're like, it sounds violent. Well, hey, what do you know? Every time you fight for your rights, every couple decades, people die anyway. So that's kind of gonna happen. I'm not saying I want it to happen. I'm just saying it happens every couple decades, every couple times they take your rights. You could kind of see this coming because they've been doing it every couple decades. Then you'd be like, oh, well, maybe we should fight for the total package. You guys won't. I've talked to people endlessly about this. You guys don't want to fight for the total package. And the problem is that every time that there's a fight for even smaller laws, you're losing those fights. So I can completely see why you're totally intimidated to fight for the total package. Like you don't even give it 100% when you're fighting for keeping churches straight. You know what I mean? So like there's so many things you've lost already. There's so many laws on guns already. There shouldn't be any laws on guns. You guys have lost all those fights. You guys have lost every single fight. And people have died and died and died. But rather to like organize and to fight the entire system to start entirely over, you guys would rather keep dying and keep losing one law at a time. It's just embarrassing. And we're the guys with the guns here in America, and they keep putting more restrictions on our guns. You guys lost. You guys lost. That's why these billionaires are international now. They've given up on any sense of national pride because all of these countries are just tourist dumps where the laws only apply to people who can't afford their way out. Right? It's just a new way of, the idea that you could kind of use guns, or that anybody would have the courage to use guns, that's sadly, I've talked to everyone. I was the most extreme one. I was like, hey guys, should we go to Washington with like 1 million guys armed and just see what happens? You know, kind of like January 6th, but just with guns. And then they were like, no man, the military would show up and then we would lose. Total cuck behavior. So I'm like, fine. So the only way to really win now is to just be kind of, I don't know, financially unslavable, right? To where like you're, I don't know, not nationally tied to any government. You're not financially tied to any government where, you know, all these super wealthy guys, they're just flying around. They don't have any homeland. They don't consider any home they don't have a home country. They've let that go, right? They're just rich. They're just gonna be wherever they want to be, right? And then you look at us, we're like traditional, and we're like, I'm so traditional that I'm like, hey, let's have a homeland. I'm so traditional, I'm like, let's consider it actually a reason that we're born in a country, right? I've got plenty of people all the time that say, oh, well, where I'm born, that doesn't matter. What do you mean it doesn't matter? That's like saying your hair color doesn't matter. That's like saying your skin color doesn't matter. That's like saying that you having 4 limbs doesn't matter. Like what you're born with, it matters. If you're born in a country, that's for a reason. All these people acting like where they're born is for no reason is total blasphemy towards God, right? Just say, I hate God and I don't like God making my eye color this way. I don't like the way God put me in this country. I don't like the way God gave me this or God gave me that. I mean, just totally change everything. Go get some eye-changing contacts. Go cover your body with some tattoos, you know, because you don't like the way anything looks. Go dye your hair, you know, go change your country, you know, just go totally change everything that God intended. Go do that. Freaks, that's what I call you. If you change anything about you the way God intended, you're just blaspheming God. You're like, hey, I think I'm better than God. I think perfection, by the way, would be if I dyed my hair, if I got a nose job, if I, and some people will say that, oh, well, if I'm born like in a wheelchair, if I'm born, you know, and I fix myself, that's not the same thing. That's not the same thing. We can debate about it. I'm actually going to read some comments. You wouldn't mind going to India? Oh my God, you guys are sick. If you promote tourism at all, you're promoting abuse on women. Abuse on women increases with tourism. If you promote immigration, you promote abuse on women. Basically, anything that involves immigration, tourism, international travel, you're encouraging abusing women. Destiny Donut says, Chud Adventures coming February 2nd. Today something will happen. I don't, okay. External Extrapolation says, good man. Destiny Donut says, hey, you know, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. You know, I wouldn't doubt that there are things going on like that all the time. There's no urban man behind me. I guarantee you that. I have a spider sense. I'm like Spider-Man, bro. If there's an urban man behind me, I would know it. Guaranteed. And I would karate chop him. Hiya! Karate chop. What's up? What's up? Karate chop all urbans. That's right. That's right. So yeah, I'm at work right now, and I'm just tired of all these people that are super sensitive about racial jokes. Like, if I make fun of your hair, your skin color, your nose, your teeth, you being fat, you being in a certain country, you know, anything. If I mock anything, that's fucking funny. And if you mock anything about me, that's funny, right? If you say anything about me in a mocking way, that's funny. And it, like, everybody's just so sensitive that they can't stand being made fun of. Like, who cares? These Indians, they stink. These Indians stink. Indians stink. Look out, there's an Indian. Ah! Indians, they stink. Indians stink. All of them. All of them. Generalizing. Generalizing insults are the best insults. When you say all, not some, all. Just say all Indians. All Indians stink. Nope, all Indians are jerks. All Indians stink. See? See, look at that. External already did it. He already cucked and said some. See, External, you got to learn how comedy works. Generalizing. You have to generalize the whole group. Stereotypes, generalizations. See that? You see that Ferrari? Stereotypes. So the stereotype is Indians stink, and then generalizing would be that you say all Indians stink. You get it now? So it's like, instead of saying Jews, instead of saying like Jews are like crazy, you would say all Jews are crazy. You know what I mean? So you first stereotype, and then you generalize. Ooh. Indians, they stink, all of them. All of them. I was riffing on Norm Macdonald's damning them with weak condemnation. It worked. Oh my gosh, it did work. I just got a text. What's up, everybody? Did you know that you can text me 954-210-3158? Don't call me because I'll never pick up my phone. I only picked up my phone for my father, and now my father's passed away. So I don't pick up my phone for anybody. But you can text me though. Text me 24/7. You are canning having eaten a hamburger. Okay? Yeah, I'm just at work right now. Yummers. Woo! So I made this I made these lyrics for a song, a new racist song. It's not mean because nothing racist is mean. It's racist funny. So I'm gonna probably work on that today. It's about Indians and how much they stink. And I think it goes something like, like I made this story about this Indian guy who everybody in the town, when they smell him, they literally like his smell is like poisonous, and they like die, and so everybody like has to cover up. Everybody has to cover up to hide their nose and their breathing. Everybody has to cover up because they can't breathe the poisonous smell from this Indian guy. And so they work on this plan. This is all a rap song that I wrote. They work on this plan to get rid of him, so that they can, breathe again, because no one in the town can breathe with just one Indian man. If you have like just one Indian guy in your town, like the whole town can't breathe. So like if your whole town is filled with George Floyds, they can't breathe, right? They can't breathe with one Indian guy. There should be like, that's what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? They literally can't breathe. They're honking their horns. They can't breathe. It's crazy out there. Yeah, so comply with labor laws and regulations. Yeah, so what needs to happen is while you're at work, you gotta come to work smelling good, right? You can't come to work smelling bad, right? And so a lot of these Indian people, they will come to work obviously smelling terrible. And so I don't know why they're allowed to work in stinking up the place. Oh. So these Indian people, they just stink. And so I was writing this rap song about how bad Indians stink. And so the song is like about this poisonous smelling Indian man. Like he's so smelly that no one in the town can breathe. And like George Floyd, they can't breathe. Gonna be working on that song later. What are you guys doing today? You guys gonna be making a cool song about how bad Indians stink? See, if we all make music about how bad Indians stink, it'll probably save the planet. You guys need to do your part. You guys need to do your part. Oh, you're making a Chinese song based? Yeah, see, the Chinese people, they hate Muslims Chinese people hate Muslims. And see, every group hates another group, rightfully so. And if we all let that hate, if we all just let that hate out, just let the hate out of your heart, just let it out. Let that hate out, everybody. So because we all have hate and we're all bottling it up, it's just ruining everything. We need to let the hate out. Like all of us have certain hates. Like these Chinese people, they hate these like Islam people. They're like breaking down all these mosques and stuff. And then you've got the Jews. The Jews, they hate those Palestinians or whatever. They're, you know, I mean, we should all just let that hate out. Let it all out. Get it all out of our system. Yeah, so, you know, we gotta let this hate out. Yeah, so once all the now here's the problem though, is that some of these places I think are like, you know, we should allow them to stay a little religious. You know, some of the countries, no, we can take away the religion. That way you can have some countries that there's like no religion. You know, everything's really strict. See, like that's what I'm saying. Maybe you want to go to a country like that where, you know, maybe everything's really strict, or maybe you want to go to like a country like Africa, right? See, if you go to a country like Africa, there's no gun laws, there's no drug laws, you know, so if you want to do a lot of drugs and shoot a lot of guns, or shoot a lot of drugs and shoot a lot of guns, you know, just move to Africa. There's hardly any regulations there. We're all missing out on these incredible opportunities. So, listen, if you want to live in all this regulation, that's your choice. You know, people in Canada, they have no guns and high taxes. Why would you want that? People in China, you know, they've got, you know, some factories that you can work at. You know, there's a lot of opportunities all around the world. If you really love brown people, you can move to the Middle East or something. You know, if you hate white people, if you hate white people, you could kind of probably leave America. Actually, you should probably leave America if you hate white people. You would really help us out. Right? If you hate white people, please leave America. We're actually trying to make America kind of white right now, because there's a lot of other countries for all these other coloreds. I said that really polite. I could have said that any other way too. But everybody make sure to also hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my videos. There's a subscribe button and a notification bell. Some stupid fucking reason. Should be subscribe only, and then you get notified, but then they make you do an extra step. So dumb. But yeah, everybody make sure to get that hate out. Because no one really says that they love anything. If you pay attention to people talking every single day, count how many times the people that you're really listening to a lot, count how many times they say they love anything. Did they say they loved anything yesterday? Did they say they loved anything this week? Did they say they loved anything this month? They don't. It's actually shocking. I'm actually calling everyone's bluff. I'm actually doing a lot of noticing right now, and the noticing is no one says they love anything. And what they're doing is they're actually suppressing, saying the things that they love and saying the things that they hate. They're just completely suppressing these extreme emotions. right? No one really loves anymore. It's just like I kind of like you. And no one really hates anymore, right? So everybody knows you got to come all the way out. You got to let that hate all the way out. You got to let the love all the way out. That's why I'm always transparent. I just tell people, hey, we're not, we are. It's black or white. Great replacement. Well, I mean, there's a lot of whites. These billionaire whites, the billionaire whites, as I said earlier, about 30 minutes ago, billionaire whites don't say that they have a home country. Oh my God, I'm transparent. That's funny. That's your best joke today. But yeah, all these billionaires, they don't really have a home country. They just buy land. They buy land in all these different countries and just live in a bunch of different countries and kind of have no, I don't know, do they have citizenship really anywhere? This is what I'm saying, you know, can you become just so wealthy to where like you're not really a citizen anywhere? That's what I'm talking about. But there's also this Amish guy. There was an Amish guy, and he doesn't have a citizenship at all. He doesn't have a birth certificate. See, that's what I would do if I had a kid. If I had a kid, he would be completely unregistered. No driver's license, no social security card, home birth, everything. You know what I mean? But then, would it be smart to have a kid like that in a country like this that is so regulated? It would actually kind of be difficult for him to grow up unless he had a farm or something, a self-sustaining farm, because you know you can't be like some city guy with no driver's license, social security card. You know, how would he get a job? So, you know, see, that's a really interesting concept. Make sure to click subscribe, everybody. I'm going to be going live. I'm going to be going live on X in about 30 seconds. Live on X in 30 seconds.